What's up, everybody, and welcome back for a brand new video. I want to talk about the San Antonio Spurs because I think that they are the scariest team in the NBA right now. Now, this time of the year, right, the playoffs are rapidly approaching. A lot of teams are on fire right now. They're starting to figure it out. They're starting to peak. But to me, there just seems to be something different about the Spurs. And I understand that they are number 2 in the West. We know that the Alpha Dogs are the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are the defending champions. And they've been playing at an unbelievably high level. SGA is probably going to win the MVP. They're dynamic. They have depth. They're very versatile. And I do agree that they are the team to beat in the West. But when I watch what I am seeing from the Spurs, I think they're terrifying. I think that they are terrifying because if you take Victor Wembanyama off of the roster, I still think the Spurs are a dang good basketball team. But then you add in Wemby, and now this becomes a real effing problem. And that's what we're seeing. That 7'5" alien, that is Victor Wembanyama, to me is the most unguardable player in the NBA right now. How do you deal with this guy? What's the game plan? What do you do? Because I'm convinced there's nothing you can do. When you have the frame that he has and you can essentially do literally everything and you have no weaknesses, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that? Nobody can match him. Nobody can match him. And to me, where things get really scary with the Spurs is obviously on the offensive side of things, they're unbelievable. But when I look at the defense that they are playing, it's outstanding. It's outstanding because a lot of these gimmies that you can get away with, right? You beat a guy, you drive into the paint, you get a free bucket. There is really none of that against the Spurs. And a lot of that has to do with that enforcer that is Wembanyama down low. I mean, he is a serious problem on the defensive side of the ball, man. Flying in out of nowhere, blocking shots, disrupting the lanes, disrupting the rhythm, being an elite scorer on the offensive side of the ball. But then it's also the playmakers around him that just make this team, to me, so scary. Right? Bringing in De'Aaron Fox, I mean, this is such a great move. Absolute baller. Right? Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell. Dylan Harper, I like the things we've been seeing from him. Keldon Johnson, Champagnie. I mean, the Spurs to me have made so many great moves, so many great tweaks, so many great adjustments. And then when you have a once-in-a-generation type of player, in my opinion, in Wemby, like, the Spurs to me are just terrifying, man. And I know that there's a lot of really good teams out there. But I think the Spurs have what it takes to be able to go out here and win the West this year. I really do. Wembanyama is playing at an unbelievably high level. And like I said, I think he's the most unguardable player in the league. And you got players coming off of the bench that are productive, right? I mean, look at, when Harrison Barnes enters the lineup. Look at the versatility and everything that this team can do. What can't they do? What can't they do? They can shoot. They can drive. They have all these guys, man, incredible vision, ball distribution, really high-level defense. And when I look around the West, obviously there are some offensive juggernauts. The Lakers are getting red hot. We know about OKC. We get that, right? We understand that the West is very, very powerful. We get it. But when I look at what the Spurs are able to do, this to me is the scariest team in the NBA. The way that they play defense, the way that they play offense, but having a true X-factor player that I feel like nobody has the answer for in Victor Wembanyama. And really my question would be, what is the answer? Is there an answer? Is there something that you can really do to slow this dude down? Because he's clutch. And then when you have to pay so much attention to him, it basically opens everybody else up, which is what we're seeing, what we've been seeing. And then you bring in guys that can shoot from the outside, guys that can drive and make you pay. And guys that are playing so well as a unit. To me, this is just a team that checks all the boxes. They check all the boxes. And when you have an X-factor player That obviously, like I said, I'm not saying that, well, obviously they have Wembanyama. I'm just saying if you remove him from the conversation for a minute, the Spurs are not they're not amazing, but they're still a solid team. They're still a good team. But then when you add in Victor Wembanyama, obviously it just takes that thing to the next level. It just does. And his name's in the MVP conversations. I don't think he's going to win it. I think it'll probably be SGA. It could be Luka. Luka's been playing unbelievable. Wembanyama's been playing unbelievable. There's been so many guys playing at such a ridiculously high level. But when I look at the Spurs, I think that they are the scariest team in the NBA right now. At one point, I was saying, when Cade Cunningham was healthy, and I know that there's some stuff going on with him, so we're going to have to see what his status is, because that's a massive blow for the Pistons. Hopefully he's all right, man. I love Cade Cunningham, to me. Another guy, MVP conversation type of player, unbelievable player. They were the Rough Riders. They still are. I look at them as the Rough Riders. Great defense. They can kind of do it all. They kind of have this aura that you kind of head into a game with them and you're like, man, I got to deal with a very defensively sound team. I got to deal with the X factor in Cade Cunningham. That's how I feel about the Spurs right now. I was saying for a large majority of the year that the Pistons are the scariest team, and I do think that they are scary. But I think right now there's nobody scarier than the Spurs, especially as we get ready to head in to the postseason here. The level that they're playing at, the way that we're seeing this team come together, the way that they have this thing figured out, and again, getting healthy at the right time, connecting the dots at the right time, I think that that's what we're seeing from San Antonio. And I've said it a couple times in this video, and I'll say it again. Victor Wembanyama is a true X-Factor player. He's unguardable. He could do it all. And the level that we are seeing him play at, surrounded by the unit that he has to work with in San Antonio, this to me is the scariest team. I'm not quite sure how you stop him. And then with the surrounding cast that he has, them playing at the high level that they are as a unit, the way that they've gelled together, I think that the Spurs right now are the scariest team in the NBA. And I absolutely think they have what it takes to go out here, dethrone the Thunder, and win the West. I think they can go out here and win the West this year. I love what I am seeing from the San Antonio Spurs. They are scary.